Hello friends, welcome to part 3 of our seed journal. So here we are about 10 days later with all of our seeds that we planted. And as you can see, some of them have grown a lot. In the first part of this video, you saw the sequence of our pictures from when we had our last day of school a week and a half ago to today. So here are all of our plants. So I'm going to point out each of these plants to you, and then we will talk about our writing assignment that we're going to do in our journal. So this first pot right here, these are our cherry tomato plants. So as you can see, these ones have gotten pretty big. Remember, these seeds that we started with were very, very small. This is our pot of Roma tomatoes. So they are also growing very nicely. They're getting much bigger. This is our pepper plants that we planted. We only have one seed that's come up so far. So I may decide to plant some more to see if we can get any more seeds to grow from our pepper plants. These are our cucumbers. So our cucumbers have grown pretty well. As you can see, they're starting to get some of their more mature leaves. Some of our leaves here are rounded, and then these ones that are starting to come up here, these are going to be the ones that have the little prickers on them. Then we have our delicious tomatoes here. These are going to be the largest tomatoes that we're going to have, and these plants are also growing very nicely. And then our last ones here, these are our green beans. These plants have grown a lot. These plants I'm actually going to be transplanting into a bigger pot, and then I'm also going to be planting some more green beans. This is one of my favorite vegetables to have in the summertime, so I always like to plant a lot of green bean plants during the springtime. Part of your assignment today is we are going to be writing in our writing journal. What we're going to be doing is we are going to be writing some similarities and differences among all of our plants. So I'm going to be putting up a picture of all of our plants together, a nice close-up picture so we can see them very easily. And then in your writing journal, I'm going to show you how to set up your page and what I would like you to write about. Okay, so the very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to divide our page in half. Now, my paper looks very similar to your writing journal paper. It's not exactly the same, but it's as close as I could get. So the very first thing that I want you to do is I want you to take your pencil, and I'm using pens so you can see it a little bit easier, and I want you to make a line right down the middle of your page. This is separating your page in half. Now you have a lot more writing lines on your paper than I do on this page, so make sure you go all the way down to the bottom of your page. The next thing that I would like you to do is at the bottom of your picture box, I want you to write these words. You are going to write seed, journal, entry, and then number 1. Okay, so this is going to be the first of our seed journal entries that we're going to write in our writing journals. Now, on your first writing line, on the left-hand side, I want you to write the word same right in the middle, and do a capital S for this one. Then on the right-hand side, I want you to write the word different. So the way that we spell the word different is D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-T. So this is setting up your paper for what you are going to write about. Now, on the left-hand side of your paper, I want you to make a list of how our plants are the same. Think about what we usually talk about when we talk about things that are the same. If we're talking about people, we can say that we all have hair, we all have 2 eyes, we all have 2 legs, 2 feet, things like that. Think about what we can say for our plants. Let's see if we can pull some plants in here. So we're gonna pull in, these are our Roma tomatoes, and we're going to pull in, oh, those are too big. We're gonna pull in our cucumbers. Okay, here are 2 plants that we're going to look at. So our Roma tomatoes and our cucumbers. How are these 2 plants the same? Think about some of the different answers that we could write down. So I'm not going to write this list with you. I want you to think of some of the different ways that these plants look the same to you. Think about the leaves, think about the stems, think about how they are growing. Now, how are these plants different? So again, you can look at the shape of the leaves. You can look at the size of the leaves. You can look at how tall these plants are. I'll show you a better picture of these 2 plants in a minute so you can get a sense of how tall they are. I know it's hard to tell by looking at them from on top, but on the right hand side of the page, I want you to write how these plants are different. Now, in your picture box, I'm just gonna move this over here so I can write. I want you to draw a picture of these 2 plants. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a picture of a pot, because these plants are in pots. So you can include your pot in your picture. So there's my pot. Here's my other pot over here. Okay, so we're gonna have 2 pots. So on the left-hand side, we're going to draw a picture of the Roma. So in the middle inside of your pot, you can write the word Roma, R-O-M-A. And then on the right-hand side, these are going to be our cucumbers. Just make sure I don't misspell cucumber here. So we're going to write cucumber inside this pot. So make sure when you're drawing that your pot is big enough that you can write the word inside of it. Sometimes it might even help if you write the word first and then draw the pot around it. So here's cucumber, C-U-C-U-M-B-E-R. So there's cucumber. Now, I want you to make sure that you draw a picture of each of the plants above where you drew your pot. That way you can have 2 pictures, and then make sure you color them when you're done. Remember, if you have any questions, please have your parents send me an email. I hope you enjoyed this little writing assignment that we're doing along with our virtual seed journal. And the next time that I have a video for us for next week, we will look to see how much more our plants have grown, because they're going to be starting to grow very quickly now that they've all sprouted. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you next time. Bye, friends.